Let's go back. Come forward a little bit. Do you remember when the Soviet Union fell? Where did the communists go? Where did they all go? There they are, pulling down statue of Stalin. The communists just all disappeared. Nobody was a communist anymore. No. They were democratic socialists. Wait a minute. Democratic socialists, those are the same people. Yes, show me yesterday's chalkboard. Those are the same people that I showed you on yesterday's chalkboard. Remember supporting Julian Assange, the WikiLeaks guy? This is great. Yeah. They're the ones who want to see the evil capitalist America brought to her knees and fundamentally transform into some sort of progressive or socialist utopia land. Wait a minute. That's the same thing they want to do here. Like Bertha Lewis. Earlier this year, she spoke in front of the Young Democratic Socialist Conference. Young Democratic Socialist Conference? And then we have Richard Trumka, president of AFL-CIO, one of the president's favorite unions, speaking at the European Democratic Socialists. There they are right there. But they were only creating a global economy there. Do you remember I showed you a blueprint? Do we have the patent of the blueprint anywhere? Oh, here it is. Yeah, here it is. I love it. This is a blueprint. Okay? This is actually a patent for this thing. This is wonderful. This is owned by Fannie Mae. We asked them what it was for. Believe it or not, they said it was for surge protection. This is a lock. You can't open this without a special device. It's a lock for your outlets. Surge protection. You ready for the example they gave us? Somebody could come in, crash your computer, because they've plugged in an unauthorized vacuum cleaner. How many times does that happen to you? The best part is they can lock it down. So, no vacuum cleaners are plugged in. Yeah. Wonder if they could do that if you've used too much energy, or if you're on the naughty, not the nice list. Here's the deal. You and I know the vacuum cleaner thing doesn't happen. But, this is the idea I had a second ago. The Russians don't know that. And if we're in the smart grid with them, we can put all of these on their outlets. Oh my gosh. The United States is playing a game with the Russians. We're this close to taking Russia. No, I don't think so. No. Welcome back, America. We just showed you a little bit of what AFL-CIO President Richard Trumka is up to over in Europe, working with the Democratic Socialists. But now let me show you what he's been doing here in America. In Baltimore, the young trade unionists are celebrating their one-year anniversary. Happy birthday, guys. Well, I wasn't invited to the party. They started last year with young union members and got them into the encouragement and support of the AFL-CIO. At the party, AFL-CIO Secretary-Treasurer praised them for, quote, working hard to build relationships with other progressive organizations, faith groups, Democrats, and other like-minded Maryland groups. Oh. Well, here's how they're selling themselves to the kids in Baltimore. This is great.
Some of the regular union meetings that I go to, it's all business. Well, these definitely, give us a chance to socialize with the rest of the, younger members out there in the different unions, which I think makes it more appealing to the younger crowd.
We try and make things more fun because naturally people are more attracted to having a good time while learning something.
Hey, I'm down with that. Just having fun, hanging out. Marxism is fun, isn't it? Let's get together and partay with the proletariat, comrade, in solidarity against the bourgeoisie. If you really, though, want some real good quality propaganda, try this one out.
What are you guys doing still on break? I need you to go back to work. I gotta make the money right now. How am I supposed to get this job done when y'all standing right here doing nothing?
We're about to get right to it, but since you're here, before you leave, I really need to take tomorrow off, man. My daughter's extremely sick, and I gotta take her to the hospital.
What do you mean you gotta take a day off? How am I gonna get the job done if you home? If you home doing nothing?
I'm hardly ever.
Look, get back to work.
You're doing too well.
And why you guys put up with that stuff, man?
What else are you gonna do? Get fired?
Nah, man, not if you got the union back in you.
Man, I was afraid because his daughter had to go to the hospital and his boss wasn't going to let him do that. Man, if I had $1 for every time that happened to me, well, I wouldn't have $1 because it's never happened to me or anybody I know, but man, I'm really sheltered. My boss has also never thrown his hard hat down when I said, I got to take my sick grandma to the hospital. Huh, good thing. Good thing, because I don't have a union rep as cool as that guy. He was cool, and he followed up immediately afterward. These people were lucky. That I don't think was a reenactment, by the way, because I don't think that's ever happened. But anyway, now we have the unions. Remember, we told you last week, the AFL-CIO, the unions in your church. But now, kids are being targeted. Yes, the Daily Caller is reporting that colleges are steering their students now towards food stamps. Isn't that great? Welfare benefits. No, not if they need food. This is financial aid. This is insidious. What? No, it's Cloward and Piven. Wait a minute. Cloward and Piven. Didn't he work at Columbia? And she currently teaches at the City University of New York. Yes, and she also serves as an honorary chair of the DSA. DSA. Democratic Socialists of America. And these guys were teaching at colleges. Hey, wait a minute. Didn't Marxist revolutionary hate America, blow things up Bill Ayers also? Yes, he's a currently retired professor from the University of Illinois at Chicago. And now he's writing books on how to teach your kids in school. And now these guys are now teaching our kids to be on food stamps. It's just financial aid. Man, I wish I got an invitation to come to their party, because it sounds like a fun party, doesn't it? Really does. Here's the good news. It's not just organize the youth and your churches and getting your kids to use food stamps as financial aid. No, no. Now, they're also reaching out to teach your kids yet another skill. This skill is called democratic, and that sounds good, democratic revolution. Oh yeah, I'll show that to you next.
Well, I'm just here to say thank you, Dad. Yeah. Had you guys not been so irresponsible, then I might not have had the chance to work 70-hour weeks just to make ends meet. Yeah. Oh, I'm also really digging this hyperinflation. Yeah, I can't tell you how much fun it is to try and make it to the cash register before the price of my Depends doubles. So, I hope you guys have fun doling out more free stuff to yourselves. Oh, don't worry about paying for any of it. That's what I'm here for, right? Change my diaper now.
I bring this stuff to you every night because you have to be aware of it. And it's, quite frankly, not stuff I want to bring you every night. But you must be aware, and you must gather your family and know what is happening in your country just outside of your vision. Let me introduce you to a group who would love to influence your college kids. Revolution. So who is Revolution? Well, Revolution is an international socialist youth organization. Quoting, "We are a group of young activists who are fed up with unemployment, war, poverty, cuts, and capitalism." This group published an article called, "What is Violence?" Here's a paragraph from the article that might give you a sense of who this group really is. What is violence? The history of the British democracy is one long struggle of the oppressed against their oppressor. Does that sound familiar? They go on, starting with the supremacy of the parliament over the unelected monarch that was won with a bloody and violent civil war, and the forceful removal of Charles I's head. This was followed by the struggle for the right to vote to be extended to people other than the landowning rich, which saw mass riots across the country escalating to a general strike and near revolution, which finally forced the ruling class to back down. Later on, the suffragette movement utilized violent tactics such as occupations, the storming of parliament, and yes, the breaking of windows to win the right to vote. The next sentence, however, is, however, this isn't just a matter of history. The struggle continues to this day. I've been saying now, oh gosh, almost for 5 years, I've been warning that they were sowing the seeds of this, and I've been saying for at least 2 years, that this is what's coming now. And it is not limited to Europe. Radicals are infesting our education system, our union hierarchy. They even our government is riddled with them. What is it going to take for your friends and neighbors to finally see all of them, see the truth for what it is? Maybe you should just have them start listening to the left in the press about Julian Assange and Soros, because they're now saying the same thing I have been warning. But they will take you to a dramatically different place. They're getting to our kids for a reason, because we're not going to be the generation that solves it. Our kids are. And if our children and our college students don't know the history of our country and don't know they're being used, the American experiment vanishes from the face of the earth. But if we do our jobs as parents and grandparents, it will survive. And you will never be able to extinguish the flame of freedom. Back in a minute. I want you to go to upillar.com. upillar.com. My family and I, we are selling a lot of our stuff, and it's all for charity. And tomorrow is the last day of the auction. Check it out at upillar.com. Also, on Friday, a very special show with the best man I know. You do not want to miss an hour of inspiration, and you will stand up and say, I can do it. The Power of the Individual on Friday. Don't miss it. From New York. Good night, America.
Federal agents short-circuit another attempt at domestic terrorism. The president's push for a